So it could be that maybe the lines were adjusted somehow, I'm not sure.
1 minute warning, supervisors. Let's take our places.
Yes, sir.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
All right. Ready to rock, brother. All right, Ed. Get in the saddle, bro.
Good evening, welcome to our Board of Supervisors business meeting Tuesday, July 15th, 2025, 7 p.m. Board meeting room, 39 Bank Street Southeast, Chatham, Virginia, 24531. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bowman?
Here.
Mr. Dalton?
Here.
Mr. Dudley?
Present.
Mr. Ingram?
Here.
Mr. Whittle? Mr. Height?
Here.
Mr. Tucker?
Here. Next on the agenda is, as we prepare for a moment of silence, let us remember in our prayers those that are affected by the flood down in Texas, and also the seniors on the Northeast that were lost in the horrendous fire at the nursing home. So let's have a moment of silence. Thank you. Please join me if you're physically able to stand for the Pledges of Allegiance. Thank you all. This time we will move to item number 5. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Mr. Bowman.
I'd like to make a motion to add the following items to the consent agenda. The Robin Court contract approval, Battle on the Border donation approval, health insurance rates and increased wellness benefit approval, and to move item 7E to new business as item 12A. That's my motion.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
All right. It has been moved. Second, we're going to add to the agenda. And Madam Clerk, did you get all of that down?
I do.
All right. Can you read that back?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
there was an error there. It's to move item 7D, not E, 7D to new business as item 12A.
Did you say 7E?
Delta
D.
D.
All right, D is the VDOT rural rustics. You mean the resolution for the four-way stop?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
7E.
Thank you.
And I'll second that one, Mr. Chairman.
Hang on, there's a motion and a second on the floor. Let's go back and let's add to the agenda those items. And what's on consent agenda, you'll need to make a motion to separate that particular item, is my understanding. Help me out, Mr. Evans.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the wording he's used is acceptable. He's moving that, but yes, to separate from the consent agenda to the new business.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, that's the motion that's on the floor. It's been seconded. Cast your votes. All right, motion passes unanimously. At this time, we will ask for a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Sir, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dalton. Thank you, Mr. Ingram. Any discussion? All right, gentlemen, cast your votes. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 7 is the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I would like, I think we need to make a correction. Item 7F, reappointment to the IDA for Stephen Merrick's. Stephen is actually from the Dan River District because Joey Fawcett is Chatham Blair's district.
That
Okay.
is correct.
Correct that.
So noted, Madam Clerk.
Got it.
Thank you so much. All right. With the correction, I'll ask for a motion.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Is there support for the motion?
Yeah, I think Eddie made the motion, got a second by Ken Bowman.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. All right, cast your votes, gentlemen. Motion passes 7-0. Presentations. Madam Clerk,
Yes, sir.
is
You all
my,
have one.
is this gentleman here?
Yes, this is going to be for Mr. Bobby Campbell. You're welcome.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let's see, Mr. Bobby Campbell where is he located? Bobby Campbell. Are you able to come on up and talk to me, sir? Huh? No, we did not here. Okay. Hello, my friend. How you doing? Doing well, sir. Thank you for your service. All right. Go ahead. Now, this gentleman continued to run calls at his tender young age. Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors Resolution number 2025-05-09, honoring Bobby Campbell's volunteer fire service. At the Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors Board meeting on Tuesday, May 20th, a little late, 2025, in the board meeting room, the following resolution was presented and adopted. Whereas Bobby Campbell has devoted a lifetime of exceptional service to the Chatham Volunteer Fire Department, beginning his journey in firefighting when he first answered the call for assistance while working at the Old People's Service Station on Main Street, an experience that ignited a passion for serving his community. And whereas Mr. Campbell has dedicated 59 years, let me say that again, 59 years of service to fire suppression, rescue operations, leadership, training, and community outreach, serving as a mentor and role model for generations of first responders. And whereas, in addition to his fire service, Mr. Campbell devoted 25 years to the Chatham Rescue Squad, further demonstrating his deep commitment to public safety and community service. And whereas his exemplary dedication, leadership, and selflessness have earned the respect and admiration of colleagues, community members, and officials alike, contributing significantly to the strength and legacy of the fire service in Pennsylvania County. And whereas his commitment over more than 5 decades exemplifies the best of public service, showcasing a profound sense of duty, courage, and compassion that has made a lasting impact on the lives of countless individuals in the county and his community. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors hereby honors and commends Mr. Campbell for his decades of exemplary service, recognizing his unwavering dedication to Chatham Volunteer Fire Department, Chatham Rescue Squad, and the entire Pittsylvania County community. And be it further resolved that the board expresses its sincere appreciation to Mr. Campbell for his noble dedication, for his time and efforts toward development and advancement of the county and fire and rescue system. Given under my hand this 20th day of May 2025. Yours truly, Robert M. Tucker Jr., Chairman, Kayla McCluster, Pittsylvania County Board of Supervisors Clerk. Congratulations. We're going to, very quickly, we're going to take a picture with the Board of Supervisors, then I want to get his team down here and get pictures of him with his team. Okay?
Okay.
Is that all we got?
Now we get down.
Let's see what we got on zoning.
Let's give Mr. Campbell another hand. Little birdie told me he's 90 years old and he's on no medication. 90 years old and on no medication.
That's wonderful.
All right, now we move to item number 9, which is hearing of the citizens. Each person addressing the board under hearing of the citizens shall be resident or landowner of the county or the registered agent of such resident or landowner. Each person shall step up, give his or her name and district in an audible tone of voice for the record, and unless further time is granted by the chairman, shall limit his or her address to 3 minutes. No person shall be permitted to address the board more than once during the hearing of the citizens. All remarks shall be addressed to the board as a body and not to any individual member thereof. Hearing of the citizens shall last for a maximum of 45 minutes. Any individual that is signed up to speak during said section who does not get the opportunity to do so because of the aforementioned time limit shall be given speaking priority at the next board meeting. Absent chairman's approval, no person shall be able to speak who has not signed up. Madam Clerk, we
Yes,
have
sir.
any people sign up?
We do.
Who's our first speaker?
Cynthia Dowling,
Ms. Dowling?
I think she's already gone. I think she was able to get her question answered. So,
Okay.
We're
Who's
good.
our next speaker?
Jeff Love,
Jeff Love. Good evening and welcome, Mr. Love.
Thank you, Jeff Love, Stanton River District. During the January board meeting, the board postponed a decision regarding the proposed overhaul to the county zoning until the August 19, 2025 meeting. Will the upcoming August meeting include the Berkeley Group's zoning overhaul? So that's a question. I don't know if you can answer that during hearing of the citizens. But that's a question we'd like to have answered. In January, Emily Ragsdale assured us that her interpretation of the new zoning would be consistent and that she wasn't going anywhere, quote. Since Emily Ragsdale is no longer with the county, we're faced with an uncertain future interpretation of the current and proposed zoning. I've continued to request a line-by-line comparison between the existing and proposed zoning. Has that document been developed, and is it available for the county residents to review? So I have a couple of questions. I don't know how those could be answered. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, who's our next speaker, Ms. McCluster?
that's all, Mr. Chairman.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, great. Is there one here desiring to speak that did not get here in time to sign up? Okay. All right, we're going to move on to public hearings. This is item 10A. Pursuant to Article 5, Division 6 of the Pennsylvania County Zoning Ordinance, the Board of Supervisors have been empowered to hear and decide specific zoning issues and zoning map changes in support of said ordinance. In accomplishing this important task, the board is responsible for promoting the health, safety, and general public welfare of the citizens of Pennsylvania County. The board must ensure that all of its decisions and regulations be directed to these goals and that each be consistent with the environment, the comprehensive plan, and in the best interest of Pennsylvania County, its citizens, and its posterity. Mr. Arnold. case R-25-012. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Case R-25-012, Victor Hardy and Nell Hardy have petitioned to rezone 46.81 acres located on State Road 746/Golf Club Road in the Chatham Blair's election district from R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agricultural District to allow for agricultural use for the placement of an accessory structure on the property. Once the property is rezoned to A1, all uses listed under Section 35-178 are permitted. On June 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended by a 7-0 vote with no opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet, and Mr. Chairman, Victor Hardy is here to represent the petition.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hardy. At 7:33, we opened the public hearing. Is Mr. Hardy here? You have anything to add, sir? Nothing to add? All right, at 7:34, we close public hearing. All right, let's see, Mr. Bowman.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. In case R-25-012, I make a motion to approve the rezoning of 46.81 acres from R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agriculture District to allow the property to be used for agricultural purposes and the placement of an accessory structure on the property.
I'll second it.
Thank you so much. That is the motion and the second. Any discussion? Cast your votes. Motion passes unanimously. Sure, your property is rezoned. All right, case R-25-13, Mr. Arnold.
Case R-25-013, Harold Jr. and Caroline Carver have petitioned to rezone 83.49 acres located on State Road 62/Milton Highway in the Dan River Election District from R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agricultural District to allow for agricultural uses. Once the property is rezoned to A1, all uses listed under Section 35-178 are permitted. On June 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended by a 7-0 vote with no opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet, and Mr. Chairman, Harold Carver Jr. is present to represent the petition.
Mr. Carver, we're going to open the public hearing at 7:36. Anything to add, sir? Nothing to add? All right, at 7:36, we close the public hearing. All right, let's see, that is Mr. Height. Your pleasure, sir.
Mr. Chairman, in case R-25-013 for Harold and Caroline Carver to rezone 83.49 acres on State Road 62 from R1 to A1, I make a motion that be approved.
Is there support for the motion?
Second it.
Thank you so much. Any discussion? Cast your votes, gentlemen. All right, motion passes unanimously. Ms. Carver, your property is rezoned. Okay. All right, case R-25-014. Mr. Arnold.
Case R-25-014, Kingdom Land LLC has petitioned to rezone 19.46 acres from A1 Agricultural District and R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agricultural District located on State Road 706/Abbott Place in the Bannister Election District to allow the property to be subdivided. Once the property is rezoned to A1, all uses listed under Section 35-178 are permitted. On June 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended by a 7-0 vote with no opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet. Mr. Chairman, Andy Hames is here to represent the petition.
Mr. Hames, we're going to open the public hearing at 7:38. Mr. Hames, anything to add, sir? Thank you so much. At 7:38, we're going to close public hearing. All right, a little help here.
All right, Mr. Chairman, in case R-25-014, I'll make a motion to approve the rezoning of 19.46 acres from R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District and A1 Agricultural District to A1 Agricultural District to allow the property to be subdivided. Mr. Chairman, that is my motion.
Thank you, sir.
Second it.
I'll second.
Thank you so much. All right, you've heard the motion. Cast your votes. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, Mr. Arnold, case R-25-15.
Case R-25-015, Retson Companies Incorporated has petitioned to rezone two parcels totaling 3.9 acres located on State Road 844/Mount Cross Road in the Westover Election District from RC1 Residential Combined Subdivision District to B2 Business District General to allow for a retail business to be placed on the property. Once the property is rezoned to B2, all uses listed under Section 35-365 are permitted. On June 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended by a 5-2 vote with opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet, and Mr. Chairman, Gregory Stewart will be representing the petition.
Thank you, Mr. Arnold. At 7:40, we open a public hearing. Mr. Stewart, I believe it is. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. Gregory Stewart, 2075 Juniper Lake Road, West End, North Carolina, 27376. I'm here on behalf of Retson Companies. We're a commercial developer representing the seller, Mr. Holbrook. So a couple of things. We, as staff pointed out, when the Planning Commission heard this case, can you not hear me? I'm usually closer or? Okay.
That's better.
I apologize. When the Planning Commission heard this case, there were two individuals, community members that came and spoke out in opposition. One was due to a commercial retail being so close to their homes. The other one was due to traffic. In gathering information and calling and preparing for this meeting, we realized, and obviously looking at the sign-up sheet, we realized that there might be more community members in opposition of this. So we're respectfully requesting a deferral so that we can hold a community meeting and honestly address these concerns. As a developer, we develop for a lot of different brands. I understand this is a Dollar General, and that's been a big portion of the opposition. However, we develop for Dunkin' Donuts, Ace Hardware, churches, schools. We do a lot of different developments. And one of the things that you learn in development is if the community doesn't support it and they don't have a hand in creating that development, you're not going to be serving the community that you're intended to serve. So we respectfully ask for 60-day deferral. The reason for that is we want to hold a community meeting. I understand Tunstall, there was a meeting not related to this meeting, but in Tunstall Fire Department, I was thinking we could hold a meeting with the community members. I could get the community list. We could attempt to address these concerns in real time. I came prepared to address the commercial retail, the two concerns that were brought up at the Planning Commission, and I don't think the community's concerns will be taken seriously if I try and fire off the hip at these concerns. So we respectfully request a 60-day deferral, 2 weeks to advertise for the community meeting, have the community meeting, and then be back in front of this board to try and address those concerns in a serious manner.
All right. Any questions, discussion from the board?
I did have a question.
Yes, sir.
Best I can tell, you guys applied back in April of
Yes,
this
sir.
year, and it went before the Planning Commission on June the 3rd of this year,
Yes, sir.
and it comes to us, it was advertised May 14th through the 21st and July 11th through the 18th, and it comes to us on July the 15th. I don't doubt that you have experience in this arena, but why are you just decide now to have a community meeting?
Yeah, it's a great question. As a developer, the timing of it is really, community meeting usually adds 30 days to the timeline. Initially, that was our goal, was to save the time. Looking back at the support that, or the opposition that it reached, that was a bad decision. And that's why we're trying to rectify that decision and do it the right way.
Yes, sir. Okay. Do you honestly think that by having a community meeting that you'll change the minds of the citizens in the Tunstall District?
Loaded question. So,
Factual question.
yes, sir. In all honesty, I'll answer it this way. As a developer, many of you know there are things we can do to appease the community and make it the community, address community concerns. For example, in the Dollar General retail space, one of the concerns is the view of the store, the architectural upgrades of the store and what the store looks like. So we can offer architectural proffers and assure what the store is going to look like and appease some of those concerns. There are things we can do, landscaping buffers, fencing, making reduction of store hours to make sure that it's not staying open late at night, which could be a concern. But until I know those concerns, I can't adequately address them. Obviously, the public hearing, they will bring up those concerns, but to be able to answer those in a 30-second window, I don't know if that's an honest attempt at actually doing the right thing and addressing the concerns.
Can you tell me how many Dollar Generals that you have had hand in building in the city of Danville or Pennsylvania County?
Currently, we have, Pennsylvania County, we have done 3.
You have 3?
Yes, sir. We did
Okay.
the one on Blair's, Highway 29. I'm blanking on the other 2 locations, but we have not done all of the Dollar General. We are not I do not work for Dollar General.
Okay. And how many other Dollar Generals would be close to this proposed location?
I believe the nearest location brought up in the last meeting was about 4 miles.
4.2 miles maybe?
Yes, sir.
And so there's 4 within less than maybe a 5-mile radius, fair to say?
That sounds fair.
It's a
yes,
bunch
sir.
of them.
Yes, sir.
Last question, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate your
Yes, sir.
consideration. When you look at all the aspects of developing and building and advertising, do you take into account how it would affect other similar businesses in the area, or specifically how it would affect the neighborhood, particularly a neighborhood that don't want it?
Yes, sir. So to answer that question, a rezoning, we really, as a developer, I look at land for best use and commercial use, the business zoning. This happens to be a Dollar General, but we really look at it from is this parcel more suitable for commercial use as opposed to residential use? When it comes to competitors, I don't pick the sites in which some of our clients want to be at. They do market analysis to try and understand where they would like to do their business. That's a little bit above my purview to say who a client, whether it be Dollar General or anyone, does or does not consider a competitor in that market. For example, there are plenty of places to where Dollar Generals and CVS's are right beside each other in development. So I'm not the best one. Honestly, I'm not the best one to answer that question, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Chairman.
Spillman. Thank you, sir. Anyone else to address this? No other speakers?
We do have speakers, yes.
Okay. He's coming.
Can you give me a mic?
Hang on.
Hang on.
My name is Tim Parsons. I live at 161 Stony Mill Road, right next door to where the Dollar General wants to go. I think it would be a good idea. Reason why is because the traffic's not going to be that bad. If they put the stop signs up, the traffic will be going slower. It'll be easier for people to get in and out. And maybe to bring in more jobs. Don't want to hurt nobody, but people need jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, who else do we have signed
Dennis
up?
Gibson.
Mr. Gibson. Good evening. Welcome, sir.
Hi, my name is Dennis Gibson, and I live in the Westover District, and Murray Whittle is our representative. I live at 8329 Mount Cross Road, and I strongly oppose the proposal to change the property directly adjacent to our house from residential to commercial zone. I have several reasons. One, we don't need another business. We don't need another Dollar General in our community. The consensus from research and community reports is that Dollar General stores can actually hurt surrounding businesses, particularly independent grocery stores. In rural areas, a small grocery store is about 3 times more likely to exit the market after a Dollar General opens nearby. And this comes from their research. One of the small stores in our community is Mills Grocery, and they have several things to offer that Dollar General doesn't have. They have, first of all, they have gas. You can't get gas at a Dollar General. They have a great grill with delicious food. They have a place where you can sit down and enjoy the meal. And they also have fresh produce and pastries and honey and other things from local vendors that they sell. And personally, I would hate to see Mills Grocery decline because of another business opening right next door to them or right down the street. So I hope the Supervisory Board would rather see small businesses flourish and expand rather than to see them close. And worst case scenario, if Mills Grocery were to shut down, then Pennsylvania County would lose tax revenue from them. Another reason, there's already another Dollar General, which this gentleman said, about 4 miles from the proposed site. And in my research, I found there's 2 within a 5-mile radius, 5 within a 10-mile radius, and there are 10 in the Danville and surrounding area. So if I wanted to shop Dollar General, I'm sure I'd just get in my car and drive 4 miles down the street or down the road. Another reason is the possibility of our property declining in value. Now, this is a really hard item to debate because it won't be evident until after the fact, after the land is if it's changed. So, some things that I found out about Dollar General and looking up on the internet and all this, there are 2,025 plans. They plan to close 96 of their stores across the United States. So, for whatever reason, 96 stores, they're on a chopping block. They didn't make the cut.
3 minutes is complete.
In their fiscal year ending in February of 2025, Dollar General reported a net profit of $1.1 billion. Now,
your timer is complete.
as of 5/25, they reported 20,582 stores in the United States.
Sir,
Now,
we're
this
going
is
to have to wrap it up.
okay. So, bottom line, they average $1,027 profit per week per store. Okay. Okay, I'll just wrap it up. Lastly, as of 7:30 p.m. yesterday, we had 1,081 signatures on petitions against the proposal of this.
All right.
So I would appreciate a no vote on this tonight from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Madam Clerk, who's next?
Tyler Mills.
Mr. Mills. Good evening. Welcome, sir.
Good evening. I'm in the Tunstall District with Vic Ingram. Good evening. My name is Tyler Mills, and I own Mills Grill and Grocery. I also live 1.5 miles from the location under this discussion. I'm not here on behalf of my store. I felt the need to speak today for the community I have served now for 15 years. I see hundreds of people every day many that live in our community, many that travel through, and many that are here tonight, and many that are not here tonight. The overwhelming response, I can tell you firsthand, is we all moved to the Tunstall District or around this area, the country, Dry Fork, to get away from the city and being overran by businesses on every corner. We crave peace and a quiet life. We don't mind driving a few miles for a few things. In this case, there are 4 Dollar Generals within 5 miles of this proposed site. I don't think anyone in our community is complaining or wishing for another Dollar General closer to their homes. I've heard the phrase over the last few weeks that this is to help promote growth to our community. I do not see how another Dollar General on Mount Cross Road in a curve where the speed limit goes from 55 to 25 does that. Also, each Dollar General, looks like to me from research, only employs approximately 3 to 4 people and only gives their store's employees a certain number of hours each week, leading to staffing issues and clutter in the aisles, which has additionally led to numerous workplace safety violations. An additional point, Dollar General does not typically own the buildings that their house stores. They often enter into a net lease that are typically long-term, around 15 years with rent escalations. So what happens when the Dollar General decides to leave when the lease is up? Do we as citizens of this community get a say in what goes on in the building next? There is much to ponder and consider, not to mention the property of values that live next door. In my opinion, it's not about what's best for my store. It's not about what's best for the people who own the property. It's about what's best for the Tunstall community, and this plan, in my opinion, does nothing to enhance our community at this location. I'm going to step a little bit to the intersection. I've seen my share of wrecks over the years. Most have happened from either vehicles run stop signs coming from Stony Mill, and vehicles are speeding coming from Mount Cross with cars turning off Tunstall High Road. I will say a few years ago they added an extra stop sign to Stony Mill Road, and I think it has helped a lot, and I don't know if they've had a wreck since. I don't love an idea of a 4-way stop sign either. I think it can make schools slower in the mornings, and nobody will know sometimes whose turn it is. I do wish we would be a little more patient on that idea, and let's talk about it. I'd like to share about it. Lastly, I would like to remind all of you that you were voted by this board, by the very people here who are expressing opposition, and we trusted you to hear and represent all of us.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, who's next?
Jackie Mize.
Ms. Mize. Good evening, welcome.
Pull that mic.
You're going to have to pull the mic down, please.
Greetings. Can you hear me now? My name is Jackie Mize. I live in the Tunstall District on Sharon Lane. I'm here today to ask the Board of Supervisors to please deny the construction of Dollar General on Mount Cross and Stone Mill Road. With a Dollar General store at this site would have many repercussions for our neighborhood. First, safety. With Tunstall High School, there are more student drivers than all other county high schools combined, and we also have a Tunstall Middle School too. With all the extracurricular activities to add and people coming from other area schools to participate would add more traffic safety issues. When students are traveling to and from school, they're in a big hurry to get to their next destination. And don't forget the cell phones distracting them to focus on the roads and others around them. Many communities have denied rezoning from dollar store developers because of traffic volume and dangerous conditions they create. Dollar stores locate in places where transportation infrastructure may not be adequate, and all major dollar store chains need a big turning radius for their delivery trucks, which are typically longer than 50 feet and weigh close to 80,000 pounds, federal highway limit. As you are approaching this property, coming from Danville, you're coming out of a blind curve. Several years ago, an off-duty police officer lost his life at his mailbox. He was struck and killed by a driver there speeding. This is just a few feet away from this site. Crime, understaffing and inadequate security and high-volume cash transactions make these easy targets for robberies and other crimes. In Dayton, Ohio, where there are more than 1/4 of all commercial robberies in 2019 took place at Dollar General stores. A police detective called dollar stores robbery magnets. A study by the Clemson University that researchers found that a chain dollar store are more likely than any other store type to attract crime. Property devalue. The potential impact on commercial property tax revenue. Dollar stores can have a negative
30
impact
seconds
on
remaining.
residential properties, which in turn affects tax revenue. A 2022 study by Clemson University found that the presence of nearby dollar stores diminished property values by 16 to 21% between 2016 and 2019. Just a few years back, the Pennsylvania County Board of Supervisors sided with the citizens and turned down the request for a Family Dollar to be built on the exact same property.
3 minutes is complete.
Most of the time, for a business to come in an area like ours, the investors receive some form of incentive to locate in said area. What did we, as taxpayers of Pennsylvania County, give up for this? I ask each of you to deny the request for a Dollar General for the well-being and the safety of the Sharon community. I would like to thank each one of you for your time and your service, and may God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk, who's next?
Emily Spicer.
Good evening, ma'am. Welcome. Can you adjust that mic for us? Thank you.
I'm Emily Spicer. I live in the Westover District. I am here for my grandparents, David and Wanda Guile. We currently live at 7681 Mount Cross Road. David Guile, my husband, has lived here in this area since 1974, 78 years. I've lived here in this area since I was 20 years old, 58 years ago. When I married Mr. Guile, we lived about 1 mile closer to Danville than the 3.9 acres of Reetson's Company Incorporated. We currently live in the section of Mount Cross Road that has the 55 mile per hour speed limit. There's a lot of traffic, and if this Dollar General is added, it will bring more traffic and speed to the area. We are even scared to even go to our own mailboxes because we are scared of getting hit. My granddaughter, meaning me, was almost hit last week getting their mail. The speed needs to be taken care of, and we do not need a Dollar General. And furthermost, that car was in the 55 mile per hour zone and was going at least 80 to 90 miles per hour, and I about had to jump over the ditch. Thank you for this consideration, and God bless y'all, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Clerk.
Scott Carter.
Mr. Carter. Good evening and welcome, Mr. Carter.
I've lived in this area for, I guess I'm going to have to tell my age now, 68 years. I graduated from Tunstall in the early 70s. I grew up in the Westover area. I now travel back and forth. I live on River Ridge, which is Westover District, and I have farmland on Cross Stitch Road, which is Tunstall District. So I travel this road many times during the week, several times a day. I realize that you're looking at changing the zoning on this land for Dollar General, but the zoning on this land is being changed to commercial. So that could be anything other than the Dollar General. Look at Mills's Grocery. He employs 12 people. Dollar General, the most I've ever seen in there is 2. Somebody said 4. So if it closes Mill's Grocery up, where will the other 8 people that may not have a job, if they go to work at Dollar General, where are those 8 people going to go to work? I mean, this is local people that support and pay taxes in this area. So I'm not in favor of zoning this property to commercial. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk,
Gina Guil.
Squill. Good evening, welcome.
Gina Goyle, 7721 Mount Cross Road, Westover District. I had a very lengthy message, but a lot of people have already said a lot of that. However, I do want to say I live in the county, to live in the county, to live in the country, not to have a Dunkin' Donuts, not to have a nice-looking Dollar General right there where I'm at, okay? So I just want you to put this in y'all's perspective. How would you like to, just, you don't have to answer this, but just in your head, how would you like to live right up on something like that? That, you know, you have more crime, you have, that was my daughter that almost got hit, my daughter. And I love everyone. People use that as a speed, like just speed, flat, just speeding. I have to, when we go out of town, I have to ask, you know, my niece and nephews, my loved ones, to, you know, don't come during the school hours, don't come during this hour, that hour. However, it's not just during school hours. It's a lot. It's all the time. Like many people have said, it's in a blind curve. You think in transfer trucks. It's not just, you know, for delivery. I'm sorry. I'm just, ugh. The delivery comes on in the night, early mornings. That is quiet time. You know, people want to sit out, enjoy the country, like bird sanctuary, you know, the woods, not a parking lot, not full of trash. The additional increase in traffic that a retail store would create would pose an added threat to younger drivers. You've got Tunstall High School, you've got Stony Mill, you've got elementary school. You also have people texting and driving. And then you're going to add even more, you know, blind curve, people turning in, people turning out, more wrecks. You know, I do take it personally because I live right there. And I don't want to live in the city. I don't want to have something right on top of me, nor does anybody else here. So just ask yourself, if you move to the country, would you want to live beside a retail store?
You need to wrap up, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, who's our next speaker?
Shannon Mize.
Good evening, welcome.
My name is Shannon Mize, and I am in the Tunstall District. I'm speaking on behalf of many residents who are deeply concerned about the proposed Dollar General near Mills Grill and Grocery on Mount Cross Road. We're not against development, we're for thoughtful, community-centered development, and what's being proposed here simply does not reflect the values or needs of this part of the county. Let's begin with the people most directly impacted. Dennis Gibson, a retired member of our community, lives right next to the proposed lot. Imagine working hard your whole life, finally settling into retirement, and then having a commercial store with parking lot lights, noise, and constant traffic pop up next door. Directly across the road, the Reynolds family, also retired, are facing the same concern, and they're not alone. This neighborhood is filled with people who intentionally chose to live in the county to avoid commercial congestion, traffic, and noise. Traffic is already a known issue at this intersection. The county has acknowledged this by planning a four-way stop, and that's just to handle current volume. Adding a retail store will only increase congestion, delivery truck activity, and risk to public safety, especially for elderly residents and children in the area. Noise and light pollution are another concern. Dollar General stores typically have outdoor security lighting that stays on all night, as well as early morning dumpster pickups that can be loud and disruptive. These are not small inconveniences when you live within feet of the lot. We've also been told that the only real benefit the county sees in this project is added revenue. And while we understand the need for financial growth, it shouldn't come at the expense of people's peace, privacy, and safety. If revenue is the sole benefit, then we must ask, is that revenue worth the permanent loss of tree cover, the increased risk of accidents, the disruption of quiet retirement living, and the decline in quality of life? If the county is truly committed to serving its people, then we should be pursuing revenue in a way that enhances our communities, not by pushing commercial sprawl into residential areas that were never meant to hold it. Additionally, this project would require clearing a large number of trees from the lot, trees that currently provide a natural privacy buffer for the homes surrounding the site. Removing them would expose families' homes and yards to the lights, noise, and activity of a busy retail store. That loss of privacy is permanent, and once it's gone, it cannot be restored. We also have to ask, is this even necessary? We already have Dollar General locations nearby on Westover Drive, Mount Cross Road, and Whitmore School Road. We are not lacking access to these types of stores. This is about protecting the character of our community. People move to the county because they value peace, space, and a slower pace of life. Not every open lot needs to be developed. Sometimes the right decision is to protect what we have, not pave over it. We also can't ignore the impact this would have on Mills Grill and Grocery, a long-standing, locally owned business that has served this community faithfully for years. This isn't just a store, it's a pillar in our neighborhood. They support our schools, offer scholarships, and help with fundraisers and community needs without hesitation. Bringing in a national chain right next door threatens the livelihood of a business that has consistently invested back into this community, unlike a corporation whose profits leave the area. If we allow businesses like Mills Grill to be pushed out or overshadowed, we don't just lose a store, we lose a relationship, a local face, a helping hand. We should be doing everything we can to protect and support the small businesses that support us, not introducing unnecessary competition that could cause them harm. So again, I ask, on behalf of my neighbors and many others who couldn't be here tonight, please reconsider this proposal. Don't let short-term revenue compromise the long-term well-being of this community. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Madam Clerk, who's our next speaker?
Cherie Melton.
Ms. Melton? Good evening and welcome.
These are some tough acts to follow. I don't have a paper. I'm speaking from the heart. My husband and I purchased our property at 8255 Mount Cross Road 5 years ago as our last dwelling place. We plan on living there for the rest of our lives. And while I understand the landowner and the developer and Dollar General for wanting to make some money, I mean, we're all in that situation. When the landowner purchased that property, it was zoned residential. And that's what it needs to stay. He almost had me when he said Dunkin' Donuts, but it needs to be a residential property. We don't need businesses there. We don't want businesses there. I'd be happy to help him sell that land and take the money and buy him a piece of property that's already zoned business to put the business on. But please consider us and our well-being, and not this time. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Madam Clerk, who's our next speaker?
Justin Napier.
Mr. Napier. Good evening. Welcome.
How you doing? I'm Justin Napier. I live at 8315 Mount Cross Road. Mr. Whittle is my representative. I originally grew up in Henry County until 9/11 pulled me away from my home. I've lived in North Carolina, Florida, California, but my original home is Henry County. But I chose to live and stay in Pennsylvania County because once I married my wife and moved to this area, I love it there. I don't want it to change from where it is for no amount of money. And I appreciate that if you keep our community in consideration and give them a no vote, because we live there for that peace. I've never walked out on my porch first thing in the morning and said, you know, I really wish I could see a used carport of a building out front. So thank you, and I appreciate a no vote.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, who's the next speaker?
Jody Fitzpatrick.
Mr. Fitzpatrick, good evening. Welcome, sir.
Hi, my name is Jody Fitzpatrick, and I live in Dry Fork in the Tunstall District. I'm here today to respectfully speak against the proposed rezoning for commercial use in our community. Right now, this land is zoned to reflect the rural and residential character of our area. Changing it to commercial use isn't just about one store. It's about opening the door for future development. That means more traffic, more noise, and more long-term changes to the environment we all live in. Once commercial zoning is approved, it becomes harder to control what comes next. Excuse me. Yes, Dollar General is the current proposal, but rezoning allows for more than just that. It sets a new direction for the area, and I don't think matches what many of us want in our community. And that's to keep Dry Fork peaceful, safe, and community focused. Another concern is that we already have several Dollar Generals and similar stores nearby, all within driving distance. We're not lacking access to basic goods or groceries. This location isn't filling a need, it's adding something that's already widely available. On top of that, we have schools nearby. Adding retail activity so close raises traffic and safety concerns for students, school buses, and families. We also need to think about the effects that it would have on our local small businesses. These businesses that support community, hire local people, and give back. Big box chains don't do that. And more of them will bring in the more we put the homegrown businesses at risk. So I'm asking you to consider the broader impact of rezoning. It's not just about a single store. It's about the long-term direction we want this community to be in. We ask you to please vote no for the rezoning. Let's protect what makes Dry Fork a great place to live and to be thoughtful about how we grow. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. All right, Madam Clerk, who's our next speaker?
Jonathan Brower.
Mr. Brower? Good evening. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Jonathan Brower. I'm in District 5. I live at 1065 Stony Mill Road, a mile down the road from Mills's Grill. I've got the farm behind me with the animals you pet, and Owen's farm and all of that. I tell you, I moved here in 1986 from Miami. My son, Jesse, graduated from Tunstall in 91. I'm going somewhere with this, so just stick with me. 91. My daughter in 96. My daughter-in-law in 94, Tina Brower. And I've got a granddaughter who just graduated a few years ago and just graduated from Tech. I got a grandson who just graduated. He's going to Avery to play football. I tell you all of that to tell you I spent a lot of time between my house and the 2-3 miles to Tunstall. I spent a lot of time fighting traffic. I've seen a lot of accidents in front of my house. I've seen all the deer in front of my house. I've seen when football games get out and you got to wait for so long to get out. The traffic is really terrible. But you've heard that. But I want to tell you one thing that really I'm against. 5 years ago, we went through the same thing. 5 years ago, I sat with a man. He's died. He's with the Lord now. But we went through the same thing. And when all the people showed up, all of a sudden they wanted to delay again. And then we're going to delay and we'll meet with the community. Well, what it ended up doing was they met with the community all right and they canceled. And now 5 years, they're trying it again. They're trying to wear us out. They're not going to wear us out. We're here because we are against this. If I leave my house, go left to 58, head to Martinsville, I'll pass 3 dollar stores. If I go right and turn down Mount Cross Road, before I get to Walmart, I'm going to hit 2 more. If I go to 41, there's another one. We don't need it. Well, I've lived in my house before it was Mills's Grill and Hilton and Austin Brothers, and it's been nice. I don't want to see any changes. I don't want a big old building with parking lot and all kinds of things going on. I'd like you to vote against it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk.
Matthew Noss, I may have pronounced that wrong, and I'm sorry. And he is going to speak on behalf of Tara Mills. She sent an email. She is actually away with God's Storehouse. So I think she spoke with Mr. Ingram.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, or good evening, rather. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Pennsylvania County Board members. My name is Matthew Noss, and I'm a resident of the Tunstall District, and I'm here tonight on behalf of my teacher and beta sponsor at Tunstall High, Mrs. Tara Mills, a resident and landowner in the Tunstall District. She could not be here tonight as she is a senior member with the Civil Air Patrol, and they are volunteering in the community, and has asked me to read her words tonight. I would like to address my concerns for the proposed rezoning in Tunstall that would allow the Dollar General Corporation to build a store there. As a transplant from Pennsylvania, I moved to this county 24 years ago, and I have been living in the Tunstall District for 19 of those years, raising my child and teaching at the high school. I'm proud to call this home. Tunstall is a community that often gets labeled as a well-off economical portion of this county. What it is, rich in a sense of community, one that relies around itself and supports its own. In that time I have been here, there have been two families who have owned the local store, and both of them have made contributions of time, money, location, and supplies to support local organizations, the schools, and community members. When an organization wants to hold a stew to raise funds, they don't set up in the former Tunstall Fire Department or even the empty lot next to the store. They set up where the community centers around, the Mills store. The storefront windows are plastered with missing pets, cars, car show flyers, fundraisers, and advertisements for small local businesses trying to succeed and grow here. It is what makes that store an anchor in this community. I worry the Dollar General in that location will compound traffic in an area where traffic is already an issue. I dread the inevitable when a fresh 16-year-old driver will make a split-second decision to turn into the proposed entrance and get T-boned on a 25-mile-per-hour road that is rarely 25. Dollar General will certainly bring tax revenue to the county, but no essence of community. No Dollar General has donated to Tunstall Beta. We instead raise funds by asking local community businesses to sponsor students like Matthew to compete and represent Tunstall on the national level. I have yet to see Dollar General sponsor a sports team or academic club. We have 4 Dollar Generals in the Tunstall District, and yet no sign in a baseball or softball field saying how proud they are to support the Tunstall community. I have no doubt that if you allow for the rezoning, Mills Grill and Grocery will still make it, but when revenue is diverted in a small community, you won't see it at that store. You will see it when a Little League team loses its sponsors, that scholarships set up for our high schoolers wouldn't be replaced by Dollar General scholarships. When you see how no Dollar General manager will take their spare time to volunteer and coach a team, what do you think will happen to the sense of community? While Pennsylvania County as a whole may reap the benefits of more tax revenue, we will see that repaid in the community. Is that tax revenue worth the cost of our community? So I ask again, so that my community knows, do not vote to rezone this tract of land. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm also speaking on my own behalf. Is that now?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, hold on.
Now he's going to share his personal opinions.
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening again. This is me now. On my own behalf and the students of Tunstall, I would like to speak against the inclusion of a Dollar General being considered to be built near Tunstall High School. As a former student who graduated this year and lives in the Tunstall District, who also has 2 little brothers who attend the Tunstall Middle School and 1 more on the way, I strongly believe that the new Dollar General being built near the school is a danger to our sense of community and our students' and parents' safeties. As someone who can attest to the community around Mills Grill and Grocery, I can attest more to the feeling of being a victim of being T-boned in a school zone. Traffic is horrible already near the school. Adding another factor to the equation is making an already difficult task much more difficult. The feeling of safety is lost on a road and in a car once you've been hit from the side due to someone speeding or looking at their cell phone. I would hate for more young drivers who could be like me and not feel safe pulling out in fear of another distracted and irresponsible driver. The community around Mills is a strong one, and it's a place everyone loves to go and enjoy themselves before and after school. I personally was coached by Tyler, the owner, when I played baseball many, many years ago, and me and my father still speak to him every time we see him. I have yet to become friends with anyone who owns a Dollar General. I know you may not see people my age often come and speak openly about something, which should let you know the students themselves are concerned, and I speak on their behalf. So, I kindly and firmly ask you all, as a student who is taking a stand for what I believe and speaking out for it, vote no for Dollar General. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, who's our next speaker?
Emma Alston.
Ms. Alton.
Okay. How many more?
Good evening. Welcome.
That's it?
My name is Emma Austin, and I'm a resident of Pittsylvania County for the last 50 years. My husband was a lifelong resident, live in the Westover District, about a half a mile from the intersection of Stony Mill Road and Mount Cross Road. I was employed by Pennsylvania County Schools for 43 years as a teacher and then a school administrator. One of my first priorities was to ensure the safety of the faculty, staff, students, and parents. We worked diligently trying to keep everyone safe, and I feel as county supervisors, that should be one of your main priorities as well. That brings us to the question of the safety of the county residents as they travel Mount Cross Road. The traffic is heavy. We have many speeders and people getting from work to school and to running errands. VDOT is working hard to increase safety and relieve congestion at the intersection of Mount Cross, Stony Mill Road, and Tunstall High as we speak. The Dollar General that is proposed will be within 1/2 a mile of the intersection of Mount Cross. It will increase traffic, adding large delivery trucks bringing in stock, increase congestion waiting to turn into the business, and provide a dangerous situation for customers pulling back out onto Mount Cross Road. There are already many vehicles that turn into driveways and pull onto Mount Cross in this area. During school hours, you have parents, buses, students, employees, people going to work, and trucks going in either direction, beside regular traffic. I cannot understand the need to add this business to an already unsafe situation when there's a Dollar General 4.5 miles up the road. In this day and age of going everywhere at any time, I don't feel that driving 4.5 miles is going to be a hardship to get any item that I might need. I also can't imagine what it would be like to have a business in my front yard, my backyard, or right across the street from my home. The questions for you as our county supervisors would be, 1, are you willing to risk the safety of hundreds of county residents for the little revenue another Dollar General would bring to the county? 2, are you willing to take responsibility for a fatal crash on Mount Cross near this new business? And 3, are the lives of the county residents of less value
30 seconds remaining.
than the dollars that would come to the county? Please take this into consideration as you make your decision. Please listen to the voices of concerned citizens. I ask that you vote no for Dollar General. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Madam Clerk, who's our next speaker?
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. At 8, well, let me ask, did anyone get here late to sign up that wants to speak? All right. 8:27 now. We close the public hearing. Mr. Whittle. Your pleasure, sir.
Well, I don't think we're going to go with any extension right now, so I think that would be the wrong way to go with it.
Can you speak into the mic, sir?
You got me now, Ken?
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
I got you.
So, so on mine, it's, in the case of R-25-015, I make a motion to deny the rezoning of 3.9 acres from RC1 Residential Combined Subdivision Direct to B-2 Business District General to allow for a retail establishment to be placed on the property.
I second that denial.
Hang on one second.
Mr. Chairman, it may be appropriate at this point to have the applicant speak, as he did not actually speak at the beginning, just made the request for deferral.
Okay. All right. We'll leave the motion on the table. Yes, would you like to come on up? Thank you.
Thank you. I actually have if we'd like to do a presentation, the request for the deferral, I was hoping to get the deferral and extension before the presentation took place, but I have a flash drive and a presentation I'm happy to give that addresses 95% of the concerns that were brought up. Some of them I cannot address, and that was the reason for the deferral request and the extension, so I could get, for example, traffic counts. That was brought up a lot about increased traffic. I can show you data research that shows that trips per day into and out of Dollar General are not going to add to traffic concerns, very minimally. But I do have a presentation that addresses some of the landscaping concerns, the bordering concerns that were brought up tonight. But again, I respectfully ask for a deferral so that I can present this information in a more informed manner.
Thank you, sir. I have a question for you, Mr. Evans. If we deny it without prejudice, he can come back in 12 months. Is that correct?
So, Mr. Chairman, I believe that's referencing the withdrawal.
Okay.
So there's no specific procedure regarding the deferral.
Okay.
But so let's try this. If you deny his rezoning application, he cannot come back within the next 12 months on a similar proposal.
Similar. Okay. All right, sir.
And just to clarify, if the deferral is not going to be voted on or granted, I respectfully ask for the opportunity to present.
Sir, right now we've granted you an opportunity to speak. We have a motion and a second on the floor. We are going to act on the motion. If we deny, if it's approved to deny, then obviously, if you want to come back in 12 months, then, you have that right.
Well, if that's the case, I respectfully withdraw our application to go back through Planning Commission, be reconsidered, and a chance to do a community meeting. We withdraw our application for consideration. And then that gives me time to reapply to Planning Commission, have a community meeting, and go through the proper steps to address these concerns.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, if there's a request for withdrawal, then the board has several options. One is to deny that request and proceed on the underlying petition or for rezoning. The court or the board can also grant that request or deny that request and allow for the reapplication within the 12 months if the board desires to do so.
Thank you, legal. And thank you, sir. All right. Is there any further discussion? There's a motion and a second on the floor to deny. Gentlemen, cast your votes. Don't have anything. Yeah, I did.
And this is to deny.
This is
yes
to
to deny, no to not. I got you.
Okay. Motion passes unanimously. This application is denied. Moving on. All right, Mr. Arnold, in case R-25-016.
Case R-25-016, Andrew Oakes Jr. and Jacqueline Oakes have petitioned to rezone a total of .2480 of an acre located on State Road 646/Spring Road in the Stanton River Election District from A1 Agricultural District to R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to allow the property to be consolidated with an adjacent property zoned R1. Once the property is rezoned to R1, all uses listed under Section 35-222 are permitted. On June 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended by a 7-0 vote with no opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet. Mr. Chairman, Andrew Oakes Jr. and Jacqueline Oakes are here to represent the petition.
Thank you, sir. At 8:33, we open the public hearing. Ms. Oakes, anything to add? Okay, all right. 8:33, we close public hearing. All right, Mr. Dudley.
Yes, sir. I think I know this gentleman. Junior Oaks in the back. Good friends with our family. Quite a good family. In case R-25-016, I make a motion to approve the rezoning of 0.2480 acres from A1 Agricultural District to R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to allow the property to be consolidated with an adjacent parcel zoned R1. Mr. Chairman, that is my motion.
Thank you, sir. Support.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. Dahlman. All right, gentlemen, cast your votes. All right, motion passes unanimously. Folks, Mr. and Ms. Oakes, your properties rezoned. Okay, in case R-25-017, Mr. Arnold.
Case R-25-017, Tony and Annette Willis have petitioned to rezone a total of 4.27 acres located on State Road 1003 Blair Lane in the Dan River Election District from R1 Residential Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agricultural District to allow the property to be consolidated with an adjacent property zoned A1. Once the property is rezoned A1, all uses listed under Section 35-178 are permitted. On June 3rd, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended by a 7-0 vote with no opposition that the petitioner's request be granted. The staff summary is enclosed in the board packet. Mr. Chairman, Tony Willis is here to represent the petition.
Thank you, sir. At 8:35, we open public hearing. Mr. Willis, anything to add? Nothing to add. Thank you. At 8:35, we'll close the public hearing. All right, let's see, Mr. Height.
Mr. Chairman, in case R-25-017, Tony and Annette Willis requesting to rezone 4.27 acres on Blair Lane from R1 Residential Subdivision, Suburban Subdivision District to A1 Agricultural District. I make a motion that it be approved.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you so much. Gentlemen, you've heard the motion. Cast your votes. Motion passes unanimously. Folks, your property's been rezoned. Thank you. All right. That moves us down to 11A. We have 11A. Madam Clerk, give us a hand.
You said 11A. We don't have anything under unfinished business, so we can go right along to new business.
New business, 12A.
And that is the resolution that was removed from the consent agenda.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Bowman, you made a motion to separate the four-way stop, sir?
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So the resolution's in here, and I'm not going to say it's almost a moot point at this juncture here because of the denial for the Dollar General. But I think it does have merit, and I'm sorry I was not able to attend the meeting that Mr. Ingram and Mr. Whittle had last week. I understand it was very good. There was a lot of input there, and I did speak to Mr. Craddock, Jay Craddock with VDOT, talked to him about this, and he assured me that this would be a good idea to do a four-way stop at that particular intersection, that even though it's a change, and I know we're creatures of habit. I don't even know sometimes what street I'm turning on because I'm so used to making those turns. This is something we'll have to get used to if this resolution passes this evening. So I wanted to make sure that we were doing the right thing, and I think it is because of the safety factor there at that particular intersection, because it is a high-speed area. My particular district runs right up to that corner there along the Tunstall High School Road. So you have three districts coming pretty much together right there at that intersection. So it is high traffic, a lot of volume there, and especially during the school year, and especially on Fridays and Saturday nights when they have ball games going on. So short of doing a roundabout, I know they're not going to do that. They're not going to do a light. I think the four-way stop sign is a pretty good alternative for that particular intersection. So I think originally it was discussed that this would help alleviate some of the traffic that the Dollar General would generate at that particular intersection. But I don't know that the Dollar General would bring enough traffic in there to make this happen or justify this. I think just the normal traffic coming through that intersection is enough to justify this. So that's the reason I pulled this, and also to give the public an opportunity. It was placed on consent calendar to give the public an opportunity to speak to this with their concerns about that four-way stop sign at that intersection. So, Mr. Chairman, that's the only reason I pulled that off of the consent agenda, was to make those comments. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman. Any other discussion? Yes, sir, Mr. Ingram.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll give you a bit of a history lesson. I graduated from Tunstall High School 50 years ago last month. And back during my day, you had to have a learner's permit, you had to have a job, you had to have your parents' permission to drive to school. But we still had congestion back then. Nothing like it is now. So since I've been on the board 5.5 years now, I have worked with VDOT and looked at the history of this intersection and try to come up with a solution that would be workable for the community as well as the motoring public. So the issue of the stoplight came up years ago, and you're looking at $1 million plus to put a stoplight up. VDOT will not do that. They will not do it for traffic a half a year, twice a day for a couple hours. Add the question. So then a few years ago, the issue of a roundabout came up. Now, I just went to Florida a few weeks ago and went through 3 roundabouts going the back way through South Carolina. I like them. I taught driver improvement for 24 years, so I understand right away. To me, it's a very simple concept. But it was such an outcry against a roundabout that it sort of died on the vine. And part of that, and I will agree, is that it would have really hurt the two businesses at the intersection, one being Mills Grocery and the other one would be J&W Nova Parts. And the other two is private residences. So, with the construction that would be involved in moving that gigantic power pole, which would be up to VDOT, even though it belongs to the city of Danville, that became an unviable option. So a few months ago, in talking with our rep, Jay Craddock, he said, talking with the safety team in Lynchburg, the idea of a 4-way stop came up. And I said, well, Jay, I just don't know if the folks that travel up and down Mount Cross Road would buy into that. I said, but I know that we need to do something. And so I said, let me look for some grants. And so I looked for grants everywhere you can think of. And nobody wants to pay for a grant to pay law enforcement to work part-time at an intersection to direct traffic. So with that, I bought some time before VDOT made the determination that the 4-way stop would become reality because they control the roads. And so in the midst of that, in talking with the sheriff's office, they had discovered a DMV grant, which would pay law enforcement to work traffic at that intersection twice a day. So I said all that to say this. When Mr. Murray and I had the town hall meeting, we had a great turnout, probably 70 people, great input. It was a nice, very respectable meeting. It was a mix between the Dollar General issue, which is now a moot point, but the traffic issue, which will always be there. And so the two VDOT reps that was there, Jay Craddock and his boss, they spoke about the four-way stop, in addition to scaling back the speed limit from 55 to 45 to 35 to 25, rumble strips, and then the four-way stop. So as far as our board, it's up to us to do something. And we've always been mindful of traffic safety. We entertain a lot of issues and problems, and we try to deal with it the best way that we can. And so the only other option is to do nothing, and we can't do that. So the four-way stop will be something that we all collectively will have to get used to. Retired Trooper Clark, he was sitting on the second row, lives west of that intersection. He wasn't crazy about the four-way stop, but people weren't crazy when he set that Mills Grocery and ran radar either, which used to be Austin Brothers, because that's traffic enforcement, and we're talking about traffic control. And so I think it's a viable option. It's a good option. Only a couple of people spoke out against the four-way stop. And like I said, I'm very grateful to my colleague, Mr. Whittle, for not only taking care of the Dollar General issue, but for supporting me at this town hall meeting and for this four-way intersection. So VDOT said, hey, if you guys will come up with a resolution, which is on the agenda tonight, we'll jump on this and have it in place before school starts. The sheriff's office said we'll have traffic enforcement there before school starts, and they're already running radar if you didn't know that. So it's all about traffic safety. So having said that, I would love to make this motion to have this resolution voted on and passed.
Is there support for Mr. Ingram's motion?
Second. Thank you, sir.
All right, movement for second. We'll support the resolution. Gentlemen, cast your votes. Motion passes unanimously. All right, Madam Clerk, is there a 12B?
There is not.
There's not. All right, matters from the work session.
There are none.
There are none. Board members, are we down to the board members' report? All right. Let's see, Mr. Vice.
Mr. Ingram, since you're working on getting some speed limit enforcement out there on Mount Cross Road, I would love for them to watch these guys that love to pass me on that double yellow line this past Sunday when I went out there to look at the proposed development site. My wife had to keep me from experiencing real road rage. But yeah, it's I'm glad to see that four-way stop sign going to come out there. I wish that's what would have been done in the Dan River District several years back instead of a massive intersection built, and now we just have people crashing in it all the time. I would like to thank our staff. Welcome Mr. Shorter, our full-time county administrator. Looking forward to great things. And I would also like to remind our citizens to list, as our chairman alluded to at the beginning of the meeting, a lot of tragedies in the weather-related areas here in the last few weeks. It's just amazing to me. I was sharing with one of our members, I never dreamed I would see Hyco Lake flood and boathouses washed away on Hyco Lake. We need to be thankful that we live in an area, we don't suffer like some people do. We can replace boathouses, we can't replace lives, and we need to be praying for all those that have lost lives in these last few weeks. And just want to thank our board. This is a great board to work with. We're trying to get things done for this county, and I can honestly say we've got 7 people on this stage that want the best for Pittsylvania County. And I do commend each of you gentlemen for your dedication to this county And I just encourage you to always put the county first in whatever you decide. That's all I got for tonight.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bowman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Eddie. Those great comments. So I didn't get to speak last time because we cut it short, so I've doubled up this time. So I need about 2 minutes from everybody down the line. No, I'm just kidding. So I want to recap last month what happened, a couple of things which I thought were very important. The Chamber Awards, annual awards were given out last month. Congratulations to all the businesses who won those, especially to our county winners, and that's the Pinnacle Award winner at Epic Health. They have a group home in Chatham right off of 29 across from Meadows Garage up there. They're doing a fabulous job. The PACE Award for Young Professional category went to our very own Will Pace. Who knew? Will Pace was the one that won that award. So if you see him, congratulate him. And also, Pittsylvania County had many Rev Up winners that were identified there. So good job with everybody. Attended the Business Appreciation Kickoff for the summer at the Institute. It was good to see a lot of young people interested in serving in various internships with their local businesses. Great job there. As usual, I attended a lot of the other meetings, but I want to say also thank you to all the folks that came out tonight to participate. Dollar General is a small business when it comes to just the box store. They're a huge corporate business, though, nationwide. It's good to see people come out and tell us from the heart, what they like to see, what they want to see, what their changes should be, because we're just like you. We're up here making these decisions, and we need to know. We can look at the facts and the data and all that and try to make good decisions, but we also need to know where it affects you personally. So thank you for coming out and letting us hear you. And I encourage everybody to come to these meetings. If you're sitting at home watching them, good on you. I like that too. But if you can make it here and attend these meetings and voice your concerns, let us know, because we try to make the best decisions possible based on your input as well as what's in policy. So with that, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you to all the folks on this dais here for your involvement, concern, and like Eddie said, putting the county first. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowman. Mr. Dudley.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, everybody, for coming out this evening. Last month we did not have an opportunity. The air conditioning wasn't working, but we had an employee, Emily Ragsdale. Want to wish her the absolute best as she has gone pursuing a different career. Appreciate all of her work she's done. And thank you all for coming out, speaking your opinion. It's okay. And I would like to welcome Mr. Shorter, as he's our full-time county administrator. We're behind you, and we're going to get it done together. But thank you all. Mr. Chairman, thank you for a good meeting, too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dudley. Mr. Ingram.
Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. Very briefly, I did want to once again echo how pleased I am with the turnout. When Mr. Whittle and I had the community meeting on July the 8th, we had a really nice meeting. And the local stores and the fire departments are the backbone of most communities, but they're just buildings. But really, what really makes a difference are the people. And the people showed up tonight, and we listened. And I'm very proud of this board because, we are somewhat progressive. We do want to see growth, but we don't want to see it at the expense of something that we hold near and dear, which are our citizens and the communities in which they live. So thank y'all so much for your support there. June the 25th marked the beginning of the Korean War. We lost 36,940 Americans as our young men and women fought to save South Korea from North Korea. And so we still have some Korean veterans out and about, so do remember those folks. But we had a good meet tonight. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your leadership. And I do want to close by welcoming officially our county administrator, Mr. Vince Shorter. This was a work in progress, And I'm just so tickled that you're here with us. I know your heart. I know you love the county. You love the people, and you're hard worker, and we're just so grateful to have you. So thank you for saying yes. And Mr. Evans, often we overlook you, but you do a fabulous job as our county attorney. You keep us straight. When you can, our wives do. But thank you so much, and appreciate the time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Dalton.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, I'd like to echo some of the same comments. Thank everybody for coming out tonight. It was a good crowd. I want to thank all our staff. I want to thank your staff members that's not here. A lot of these employees we never see, but they're out there doing the hard work in the ditches. So I just want to give a huge thank you to all the employees in Pennsylvania County. We didn't speak any last month, but June was dairy month, and everybody knows I'm a supportive of agriculture, so we have some great dairies here in Pennsylvania County, so if you're drinking milk and eating homemade ice cream, think about them, because they the ones that produce it. Forgot exactly which day, but in the Gretna area, we lost a great business out there since our last meeting, Jack's Quick Snack. So keep the Shelton family in your thoughts and prayers, and also all the families out in Texas and places that's dealing with these floods. Just awful. But again, I want to welcome Mr. Shorter as our county administrator. Looking forward for great things in the future. Again, thank you, Mr. Evans. It's really been great working with you. And with that, everybody be safe going home. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Whittle.
Thank you there, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank Vincent for stepping up to the plate. It means a lot, you know what I'm saying? I think he did good for the first 10 months, so we'll extend it a few more weeks there. And then appreciate Mr. Evans always. He's always good, somebody to bounce stuff off of. And then I want to thank the staff for all they do for us. The people that came out for this meeting tonight meant a lot. It makes our decision a lot easier if we have everybody pushing in the right direction. We want to just thank everybody, and want to just remember the flood victims in Texas and wherever else. Man, it floods all the time now, it seems like this month. So just keep everybody in your prayers. Thank you, Mr. Tucker, for what you do, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Really do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me start by first thanking the staff for putting everything together, vetting a lot of, the agenda and making sure that we don't make any missteps. So I really, really sincerely appreciate you all. I also want to express my gratitude to the public that turned out tonight, that showed up. Often people think that they are not being heard. Okay, I just want you to know this board on this DS right now, we listen to you, we hear you. Sometimes we're not always going to agree with you, but what we're able to do, even though sometimes we disagree, we're able to basically come together and coalesce around the major issues that affect the county at large, the big picture. I'm not always going to get everything I want. The next individual in the next district is not going to get everything they want, but we understand that we have to work together. I want to thank law enforcement for keeping this community safe. I want to thank public safety. I want to thank all of our volunteers and all of the employees of Pennsylvania County that make this a great county. Also want to echo the sentiments to Mr. Shorter from all of the board. Thank you so much, sir, for stepping up and accepting the challenge. I think just your demeanor will add volumes to this county. Your temperament is exactly what we need for the employees and also for the business community. And I can't say enough about you, Mr. Evans, because I constantly am asking you, keep me between the guardrails. That's all I wanted to keep me between the
That's
guardrails. Keep me out of jail. So thank you again for everything you do. And let me end by thanking my colleagues. These guys are just stellar. I have not met any men in the county that have any more passion for what they are doing in terms of providing leadership for their district and also for this county. So gentlemen, I salute you and I applaud you. And I thank you so much because you make my job as the chairman easy. So thank you again. And with that, Mr. Shorter from the county administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I won't take much of your time. I don't want to wear out my welcome on the first night. Thanks for all the kind comments. It's a great honor and privilege for you all to have entrusted me with this great responsibility, and I look forward to serving you well. And I hope to make you and this entire county proud. Thank you very much. I want to share my appreciation not only for the board, but Mr. Evans as well. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Evans.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's, as always, a pleasure to be part of the process, and the best is yet to come. Thank you.